Yes, Tim Gordon, the filmgordon.com.
Hey, Tim.
I just wanted to hear him say his name because I don't want to mess it up.
Damn, son. The easiest way to remember
Damn, son.
it.
Idris, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very well, man. Very excited for this release.
All right. Of course, I had to do all my research, man, because I've spent like years watching you be Franklin Saint on Snowfall, and I had to shake my Snowfall list and said, "Hey, man, I need to look at this. This is this is actually a new character, but there's a lot of shades and inferences from the old character to this character.
Mm,
You kind of play a character again that's smart, really intelligent, independent, stubborn, yet very aware. Is
yeah.
that on purpose, or is that how folks see you and they're like, damn, son, are they like, this is who you are, this is what we see, and these are roles you taking, or break it down for me, man.
Well, it's interesting because with Hart, I wanted that essence at the start of the movie. You know, when he's a drone pilot, he knows what he's doing. He's a highly skilled drone pilot. They describe him as being a brilliant drone pilot. But after his disobedience, I want him instantly to become green when he's placed on a combat zone with Anthony Mackie's Captain Leo. So that was my main approach to playing it. But yes, you know, when you're on a TV show and you're in people's living rooms, they start to see you as more than a character. No, oh no, that's my friend. That's Frank. So I'm hoping as my career goes on, through the characters I play, we're able to shed some.
Well, I mean, it's a compliment in one regard. I was listening or doing some research, and I heard you tell a story one time about a woman who thought you actually really sold crack and rolled up on you at the Grove and was like, "Baby." So, I mean, in a way, I get it. Nobody wants to be typecast, but I
Mm.
mean, brother, you really strong. I mean, of course, on the show, but in the film as well. And we'll get back to the show momentarily. The thing that I thought was really interesting about the film is that, in addition to what I called the usual suspect esque elements that were in the story,
Mm.
that Anthony Mackie is top billed and for reasons we all understand. But I think the film to me is more of a showcase of your acting abilities and what you bring to the table. When you were reading the screenplay and if you had to go out and audition for it, what was it about this character that was a little different from what you've done before, but made you say, you know what, I think I want to actually do this. This may work.
Well, I love the aspect and the relationship between the two characters, between Harp and Leo. Me and Mackie always say it gave us a training day feeling of Denzel and Ethan Hawke, and just Harp having to be 10 steps behind throughout the whole movie until he finally overcomes adversity. For me, just taking on the role was always going to be exciting because it was my first action movie. I was a huge fan of its director, Mikhail. And again, the chemistry. The biggest thing was the chemistry. When I met Mackie in Hungary, he reminded me of my brothers back home in London, or some of the OGs and the uncles I have out here in LA. You know, he reminded me of them. I actually knew he'd take me under his wing, and I knew I'd be in good hands.
Now, are you 29 or have you turned 30 yet?
I just turned 29 in the pandemic, 2nd of September, Team Virgo, and let me tell you, having a birthday in the pandemic, and I'm sure a lot of people had a birthday in the pandemic, and some are probably about to have two. It's special, man. Blowing out that cake alone is it's a special thing.
Well, I'm Team Virgo as well, but I was lucky enough to escape and take a couple hour drive to the beach. So I kind of like water on my birthday. So,
Oh,
but I hear you. But the reason I was asking that question is because you are still young and on the come up, man. And I'm sure that there's plenty that you want to do. How are you kind of navigating and moving in this space, man? That's full of piranhas, man. I mean, I don't have to tell you, you in it right now. But are there some things or some folks that you really want to work with? Are you getting some opportunities, or is it a slow grind that you got to continue to do your television thing, and then you get some opportunities like you've gotten with this film? What is kind of going on with Mr. Idris's career right now?
It's interesting because given the pandemic, everyone's been at home, so everyone's seen everyone's work. So
Right.
career-wise, the pandemic almost made me more famous, but the joy of it is no one's allowed outside, so I'm not being hassled, right? I will see what it is after the pandemic. Um, but the opportunities have been amazing, and I'm incredibly thankful for the people who have called me up to be a part of their projects and a part of the stories they want to tell. But for me, I think the universe just needs to bring it to me. I enjoy living life. I enjoy being with my family. I enjoy experiencing different things in this life. That's what I believe is what contributes to me being able to emote and play the characters I play. So the fact that we've been inside, when we're finally allowed outside, I may have some time to travel and see my family who I haven't seen in months, and
Right.
really, really soak in this world so that the next character I play is believable.
So now, Damson, one of the things that we've noticed over the last 15 to 20 years is that there's been a huge influx of actors that have come over from across the pond, as we call it,
Mm.
over to America. And you guys are having great success, man. What would you attribute that to, being a part of that movement of actors
Mm.
that have come to the shores, man, and just rocked it?
It's beautiful because a lot of the performances are transformative. I think that's why people, I think that's why it's garnering more traction. It's like no one wants to see a cat play a cat, but if a cat starts acting like a dog, you're gonna look, and when I looked at people like Denzel Washington playing Steve Biko and Cry Freedom, or when I looked at Forrest Whitaker playing Idi Amin in Last King of Scotland,
Okay,
I
Scotland,
couldn't
yeah.
stop looking at the screen, because they were being something so far away from what they were. And I think that's why there's been an influx of British talent. But what I'm excited for is seeing many of my American peers going over and playing Brits, playing Africans. That's what I'm mostly excited about, because I think it opens up our industry and people have opportunities to connect to different realities. And that's what the job of an actor is to connect to different realities.
Man, I was waiting inside of this 5-part small act series that Steve McQueen did. I was like, man, where's Damson? Why is he not in? He
I
didn't
was
make any
supposed
of the
to be.
five?
I know. I'm regretful that I didn't, because that show to me really is a movement, because it's showcasing a period that's that the rest of the world has been blind to, um, and it's showcasing that the British experience, the Windrush era experience, is very similar to the experiences of those over here, those everywhere. The relationship and tension with regards to racial relations. Um, the call did come, but the schedule said no.
Oh
And
man.
everything's for a reason. But at the same time, I'm gonna support everyone's projects, because that's how we truly move forward, and that's how we truly break down doors, and that's how we truly have two strong black leads on a movie such as Outside the Wire.
So we're talking 3 years now that you finished 3 seasons of Snowfall.
Mm.
And I went when I doing my research to talk to you today. I heard for the first time your quote unquote audition experience that John Singleton put you through.
Cool.
How was that experience, and were you able to use that experience in channeling future work that you've had to do?
100%. Because of that experience and John making me walk through South Central and be Franklin and talking, I was talking to users, addicts, dealers, some homeless people, just people of the community. He was an icon in his community. You'd be walking down the street and every 2 seconds, John, it was like he was Tupac. And it was really beautiful to watch him and and to interact with these people and to truly be in character as Franklin. And I remember I was walking and, you know, British people say stuff like bin, lift, biscuit, crisps, chips instead of fries. You guys have different words for those things. So I'm in character as Franklin with the American accent. But I say to John's mom, I'm like, oh, how lovely your hair looks today. I'm just going to go over here and put something in the bin. And John's mom goes, bin? John, he ain't from here, huh? I was like, man, they're going to give this role to Lakeith Stanfield. It all worked out in the end, man. And going forward, when you talk about how that's filtered into my roles now, you will never catch me on set not speaking in the accent of the character I'm playing. And that's something that experience has made possible.
Now, it was interesting because I knew your background. So when I anticipated watching Outside the Wire, I was like, okay, he'll be British. But you weren't British. Are they gonna ever let you be you in these films? Or are you always gonna have an American accent on screen?
You know, I hope to have many different accents on screen because for me, I believe I'm my truest self, and I believe I'm fulfilling my passion as an actor the most when I don't sound how I sound. That being said, there was a role which, again, schedule and pandemic-wise, I lost out on because of schedule, but we were going to do it, and it's the first time me saying it, and it was opposite Brad Pitt, and I was going to be a British person in that. So I think the next role I play, who knows? Maybe I'm British, maybe I'm Brazilian. Who knows?
So now with Outside the Wire, man, you said it was your first action film. How was that experience for you? And I know you want to mix it up, and as you said earlier, you have to let the roles kind of come to you. But so far, what do you prefer? What do you prefer? What is the genre of choice for Damson?
Honestly, I will be honest. This was the most fun I ever had acting, ever, working on Outside the Wire. I was my most childlike self. My imagination was full of color, and just the roles I've played before, you know, Black Mirror, Farming, Snowfall, Twilight Zone. I was really there, you know, I was really in those locations. There wasn't any green screen, there wasn't any CGI. Right. So I was petrified coming into this because I thought, how am I going to emote and make people believe that there's an explosion happening here when there isn't? So to overcome that and to see how the movies worked out and to see all of these amazing robots, which we call Gumps, to see me interacting with them when on the day it was just a metal pole with a little tennis ball.
Right. Right.
It's let me know that I could do this. It's made me prove to myself that I could do this. And I'm very excited to do more of it in the future.
Now, last question before I let you get out of here, man. I know that you are a huge K-Dot fan. You love you some Kendrick Lamar, man.
Oh, yeah.
But when I heard that, I was like, man, I got to slip that brother some Nas, man. You got to get on some of that Illmatic. You got to get on.
I know. You know, my favorite Nas song is called Stay. And it's actually new. It's one of his newest songs. And I'm really proud of that because when young artists discover rappers who are a bit more quiet today, they often go back to their old work. So the fact that I prefer Jay-Z's new music, I prefer Nas's new music, it speaks so much to the musicians that they are. And the young musicians who I'm fans of today, I can't wait to see them be in that light in the future also.
Well, Damson, it has been a pleasure to talk to you. Our first meeting. I hope to sit down with you in the future as you continue to develop as an actor and I see your work. And then I can just roll up on you and go, damn, son.
Exactly.
Brother, it has been a pleasure, man. Outside the Wire, of course, hits Netflix this Friday, all weekend. You guys will be trending, man. You know, #1, #2. Movie on the film.
We're about to battle it
Damson.
out with Bridgerton or whoever's up there right now.
Oh no, you're not gonna battle Bridgerton, man. Bridgerton has had his run, man. This is the outside the wire weekend. But brother, you take care, man. And it's been a pleasure, man. You stay safe, and I hope to talk to you soon, man.
Bless you.
Take care, man.